What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to show you how you can automate your content creation using Claude Code. Now for this version, it's only going to produce basic carousels, but I'm going to show you the entire structure so you can get a good idea of how you can actually use this to start to create more advanced stuff. There's only really two things that you need for running this. It's going to be, first of all, a key.api. This is how you're going to be able to access all the different models. Specifically, I use Nano Banana Pro, but you could use any kind of model that you want. Obviously, they have all the video APIs, so you can use Veo 3, C Dance, all of these for videos. In the next chapters, in the next videos, when I'm going to show you the more advanced stuff with video creation, you're going to be using these kinds of video APIs. But for this one, for now, we're just using the image APIs, and specifically, we're just going to use Nano Banana Pro, okay? So make sure you sign up for this one, and then once you sign up for this one, then you could top it up for like 50 bucks, and then you have a key, and now you can use that key and plug that into the project, which I'm going to show you in the next part, okay? And the only other thing you're going to need is the Appify subscription or the Appify scrapers. Now, you might be able to just roll on the free tier for now, but obviously, if you start to scale up and you start to produce more content, then you're going to want to pay, okay? If you don't have this, it's okay. You can actually just default to using Claude Code to scrape your socials. And let me just dive straight into it just so you can see what's going on. Okay, so the way this thing works is that there's three different parts of it, right? There's a setup, there's a post, and then there's a board. Okay, so the setup is going to be used to give context to the model so that you can actually know who you are and how to make your post. Most AI content creation systems or AI content in general comes out super generic. I know you've seen them, just like looks like pure AI slop. So this setup is how it's going to get the context to know how you sound and to get your brand and your voice, okay? So this is a key part, and what this is going to do is going to scrape your socials. So you need to give it your existing socials, put it into the setup, it will scrape them all and try to figure out how your writing style is, how your visual style is, and then it's going to be able to feed that into your content so you can get much better results. And that comes into the second part here. When you do /post, that's when it actually starts to create the content. Now you can do 1, you can do 5, you can do 10, you can do as many as you want, but that's how you're going to create the content. And finally, in order to view them, since they're just going to be on a folder, you can do /board and actually pull up a board where you can actually view your content and the caption that goes with that content, okay? So that's how the system runs. And as I said, the problem is that most of the AI content is just generic. You know, the wrong way to do it is just go to ChatGPT and ask them to make you content. The right way to do it is to give it context about your brand and to give it examples of good viral posts, and putting those together, now it can start to get actually good results. Okay, so all we're going to do now is just make sure to give it all of our socials. It's going to grab our Instagram, our YouTube, and it's going to scrape those. It's going to figure out, like, from the bio, from the profile pictures, from the post, it's going to figure out what our brand voice is and what our color themes are, and it's going to use that in order to produce the results we want when we actually start to create content. So this project here, we're going to open it up, and we have /me, right? So /me is going to get our audience, our brand, our business, our profile, our voice, all of these kinds of stuff, which I got just from, you know, scraping my website, my Instagram, my YouTube, and my LinkedIn, okay? And so it was able to summarize what I'm known for. It's able to identify my content pillars. It's able to identify my business. It's able to identify my voice. So now it has all of this context. Now, when we actually get into the post, it's going to be able to actually produce posts which are relevant, okay? So you have to start it up, obviously, but these are the commands which you have, right? It's going to be in your /clause/commands. You have board, post, and setup, right? So if we do /board, we can see it's going to review everything. /post, it's going to make the content, and /setup is how we're going to start. So let's see how that can work. Congrats, guys. We're out of credits, man. So, you know, you're just going to have to take my word for it that when you run setup, it's going to ask you for your socials, which I gave it here, and it's going to just start to fill out these business, brand. It's got literally everything. So like I said, once you run setup, it's going to grab the URLs of your YouTube, Instagram, all your socials, scrape that. It's going to look for your voice, and it's going to figure out your brand, okay? So one command, and the system's going to figure out you, and it's going to have that context in the future. After that, you're going to run the post command that will give you a topic. It will just take the topic actually by itself, or you can give it one as well if you want. It's going to run it through the engine. It's going to create the actual post, and that's when you run the /board command. So when you run the /board command, then it's going to actually create a board with all your content and with all your copy. So you can just take a look at that, see what you like, see what you don't like, grab what you like, queue that up, and then just delete it and start with the next one, okay? So I've showed you all the folders. Let's just show you the results now. Okay, guys, so here's a sneak peek at the type of content it's producing. So as you can see, it looks pretty good visually. It's got a lot of variety. It's got the same colors theme, which I told you to do, which was monochrome. Obviously, if you want to do colored or if you want to do different design, it's totally up to you. You can do that. You just need to obviously give it your brand in those folders, which I told you the last time, okay? For me personally, I had it as a monochrome, so that's why it came out like this. I think it looks good. I think the bold headline looks nice. I like how everything's broken into sections. You know, it's readable, and it's even giving you a caption to go with it. And the captions actually look pretty good. Like, they're actually readable, and they're not just like a long slop, okay? So for example, the first one here, it said cold email truth. Nice little short, punchy, whatever you want to call it. And we got the 200K scraper for $20, which was a YouTube video I did, and pretty much it repurpose that, got some good copy and everything like that. So like I said, we can obviously make this much more advanced, and in next videos I'm going to show you how we can actually make these into videos and how to actually make these into like more advanced sort of content, which actually performs very good. But as an introduction, I think this is a very good place to get started. You're obviously going to be able to create carousels, and with those carousels you're going to be able to post those on LinkedIn, on Instagram, probably on Facebook as well. So at least now you have some content to post where you could repurpose the stuff which you've already done. So I'm sure that's going to help you a lot. If you don't want to wait, and if you want to just get started using the more advanced stuff that we have, and like I've showed you in other videos, 60 million views with our advanced AI content, then you can book a call with me and we'll talk some business and see what we can do for you. Okay, but for now, I hope you enjoy that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next videos.